In this video, I will show you how to build a task board or a Kanban board. This board is fully dynamic, you can change the headings on the fly, and it also provides you with some high-level numbers for standard tasks and urgent tasks as charts or are just numbers as well. I have made some Kanban board demos in the past, and I had the tasks and the board on different tabs. In this board, they are on the same page, so you can see the board filling up as you type. I have also spent some time making sure that this dashboard is compatible with all the versions of Excel. So let's build this together. That being said, let's get started. So here I have pre-filled a couple of cells here. So the input is very simple here. I have task, urgent, due date, and status. So the task itself, so this you can have a little grid here. I mean, I'm just going to limit myself to a few, but you know, you could go down to 1,000, 10,000. It's up to you. This is the power of Excel. You can go as big as you like. Now, so task, this is just a free text, sorry. So this is just free text. You can enter whatever you like. Urgent, it'll be a flag yes, no. So you go under data, you go under data validation, and here you put list, and you put two things. I mean, yes, no for the English speaking, but it could be anything else. You just separate them by a comma here. And here, then I know that I have yes or no. So I'm just going to clear it up again, so I can drag that down, and I make sure that it applies to everything here. So if I check in the middle, yes, it works. Now a due date, that's once again, it depends on your where you are in the world, but here I have it day, month, and year. So obviously, if you want to format that, you can. You just do a nasty right click and you go under format cells, and here you select that format that you want. I'm just going to go under custom. I'm just going to put DD. I'm just going to put MMM. So everybody understands what I'm referring to here. And I'm just going to put, let's put 4 for the year. So, okay. So I'm just going to put an urgent flag, urgent, text, due date, and here we have a status. So in order to do the status, I want to give you the freedom to choose whatever status you have. So I've created another tab, and you can do it as well, called settings. And here I have a very simple table where I would have 5 entities. I think I'm just going to go with incoming, to do, in progress, completed, and on hold. So the last one will be put in a gray area. I mean, you could argue completed could also go in a gray area, but I just wanted to leave completed in a color. So the first 4 would be colored, and the on hold would be grayed out. Now this is Agile, whatever type of task board that you want to have. If you're really into the Agile business, you could put stories here instead of to-dos. I mean, stories, it's a way to get into tasks later on. But I like incoming, because you know that something is coming, you hear about it, and then you can do some planning around it. It's not ready to start yet. What is ready to start will go in a to-do zone. But you know it's there, so you might as well plan around it if you have some resources and the like. So in progress, it's obvious. I mean, it's being done. And if it's Agile, really, the in progress should be a very quick. It almost goes from the to do to the completed if you do Agile, and then on hold. So if you don't know what Agile stories and the like is about, just don't worry about it. Just put 5 status that you think could work, and those work broadly with any type of task you would have, I believe. Okay, and then that will allow you or the users to change the settings here, and everything will be converted back to the Kanban board that we'll have here on this side of the screen. So here I just would like to validate this data. I'm going into data validation, and I'm going to do the same trick, but this time I'm not going to quote unquote hard code. I'm going to go to the source, and the source is in the settings here. And I'm just going to make sure that I click on the first one, on the first cell, and I'm just going to drag it down. And here, I should be able to see it. So first of all, I'm going to clear it again, and I'm going to drag this all the way down. Oops, I think I might have dragged it the wrong way. And here I'm just going to go back to the date, and I'm going to use the pen painter. Format painter, and I'm going to paint. I think my my computer is having a bit of a fit at the moment. So that's it. So it should be all reported, and I've done this. So here we have a very basic task list. And then I can put here incoming, for instance. So this is our task list. I'm just going to put everything, put that in the center. Okay. Now the first thing that we want to do is we want to bring back the board name. So we'll worry about formatting later, but here I'm just going to do the equal, and I'm going to bring back the incoming here. Here I'm going to do the same with the second one. I'm going to do the same here. In progress. Here I'm just going to put the completed and the on hold there. I think you get the message. Okay, so this is done. Now I need to, the end goal is to go and get as many tasks here that have the incoming status. So how do we do this? So before we do this, actually, I could go and get more tasks. I'm just going to go and grab more tasks. Okay, so I have a little bit more tasks here, and I can change the status of some. So it makes it a bit more sense to you when I apply the formula here. So incoming. Here I need to retrieve all the tasks that have incoming here. So how do we do this? We need to make sure that we are only bringing back the incoming and that we stop when there are no more incoming tasks, which is with Excel 365, you just do a filter on this, and anything that is equal to incoming will come back here. So I can show you the Kanban board what I do on YouTube video where I use the 365 and the filter, and you notice it's pretty easy. But here I want to do it for a broader type of audience. So in order to retrieve this, I had to build something here. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to isolate the different status and number them as well. For instance, if there is only one incoming, it's incoming, but I want to be able to number on hold 1, on hold 2, on hold 3, so I can put them in a on hold 1, a line, 2, and 3. So this is something that I need to do because we cannot use the Excel 365 function here. Now I'm just going to do the numbering here. I'm going to add 1 to each one of those. So it's just a simple number from between 1 to the end of the table. And here what I'm doing is I'm just concatenating the number of occurrences that I found with the same status. Like for instance, I want to have on hold 1 here, on hold 2 here, on hold 3 here, so I can know which line I need to pick it up then. Okay, so how did I do this? First, you need to check that the task is not blank. So this is what I do. I'm checking the task is not blank. If it's not blank, I concatenate the incoming here, which is my cell G15. And the number that I use after, I'm doing a count. I'm doing a count of how many incoming I have seen above. So it might make it a bit clearer if I drag all this down here like this. For instance, here, let's say I am on the third on hold. In order to calculate this, I'm just checking the countif of all the on hold I had before. In order to do this, I just lock the first element, which is J15. I just lock it completely with $. And then here I just let the row go free. I only lock in the G. So that will tell me how many on holds I've had until now. And therefore, that would append it at the end of the status on hold 1, 2, 3. And then the next one it will find, it will put 4, 5, 6. So that's it. I think once you've done that, you've done one of the two most complicated functions. This is just temporary. I'm laboring the point a little bit. That is because we don't have Excel 365 yet. I mean, I do have it, but I just wanted to show it to you. Now, for the incoming one, okay, so I'm just going to show you how to build a board now. Now, this obviously will have to be hidden in the end. You don't really need it. They are work cells. Now, in order to create this, what did I do? So I just need to do a VLOOKUP. Once again, I just want to say that VLOOKUP is a null function, but I want to make sure that as many people as possible can use this. There are some limitations with VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP reads only from left to right. XLOOKUP, you can have two completely independent columns, and then it can pick up the appropriate row from each column. But VLOOKUP, you need to be able to read from left to right. So this is why here I am on the row incoming, and I'm doing a VLOOKUP. The if error, if you can just forget about the if error here, just because I don't want to put NA when it doesn't find anything. So let's just look at from the VLOOKUP. Where am I looking in this first cell here? I'm looking at this for the first line. So I'm just looking at incoming 1. And here I'll be looking at incoming 2. And I build this using this incoming and the number that I have here. So if it's not easy to explain, it's very easy to code, but not easy to explain. So please pause, have a zoom, and understand this, and then you'll be good to go. So I'm just looking for incoming 1 into this, and here I found it already. And then if I drag that down, it'll be looking for incoming 2. He won't find it for that line. And then incoming 3 will be looking at there, he won't find it. So this is why he doesn't find anything else. So I've done that in such a way that I can just copy and paste. So here that should be the same. But if I go under to do here, is looking for to do 1 for the first line. And if I drag all that down, he will find a to do 2 somewhere. To do 2 is here, to do 3, to do 4, to do 5. So once you've understood, this formula and this formula here, you notice, yeah, okay, I don't have my filter and I don't have my XLOOKUP, but it's still feasible. So here I'm just going to paste here again, again, and again. Now I can actually take all this, drag all this, and kaboom. Now this looks terrible, but we haven't done any of the formatting yet. Okay, so this you could even, I've just hiding it here, but what you can do is actually I've just left it here for training purpose, but you can just cut it and put it somewhere else in another tab altogether, and then you will be able to use this in the same way. That's a nice little trick that allows you to do this type of stuff, and I'm using it quite a bit. Okay, so now it all looks very, this was also for quote-unquote training purpose, so I can delete it. Now it doesn't look very nice, but we can make that look much better later on. Just going to do some basics so that we know what we're doing here. Okay. Incoming. Yeah, so this is where I will add the nice formatting later on. So this shouldn't be in bold. Let me remove this. This is not bold. This will be bold. Okay, now we have our grids here. What do we want now? We want to be able to put some totals on top. So in order to put the totals on top, what I need to do is let me just finish this quickly. I need to go back here in the settings, and this is why I had these two columns here. I want to calculate the totals of how many incoming, how many to do, how many in progress, how many completed, and how many on hold. So how do we do this? So this is quite straightforward. We're using the COUNTIF function. And the COUNTIF what is the range that we want to count. So we want to count in all this here, the status. And what is the criteria? The criteria, and actually, let me, locate. What I call locate is that you want dollar all over the place. So when I'm going to drag that down, these cells will be locked. So I want to check, and I want to check in this. And what is my criteria? My criteria is I want to check how many are in this equal to this. And here I don't want to locate. I just want to leave C5, so it will follow down. So yes, how many of those is 1? We're going to do a quick check. So I bring that back. To do, I found 5. To do, I found 5. So that seems to be working. So that's a basic count. Now, the other count that I wanted to have, I wanted to have a count for what is urgent. So that you would have 2 criteria here. So this is where, suppose I'm gonna use a function that is not that old. I'm going to use the countifs here. There are other ways, but I'm just going to take a shortcut here. And here the countif is you need 2 conditions. First, the same as before. You want to check that this status here all locked is equal to this. You count how many is equal to this. And then on top of that, you want to count how many urgent there are within this. So it's an AND condition that we would have here. So I'm just going to lock this. And I'm just going to hardcode the Y here. Okay. So here we have 1. So incoming urgent 1, a to do, there was only 1 urgent according to this. Let's just check to do. There's 4 here and there's 1 here that is urgent. So if, let's say, if I add another 1 urgent in the to do's, okay, here it is. So we have our board and we have our totals. We just need to do some formatting, or maybe also what we can do is count how many here are not are this. So this is something we could do. This is just a basic count. Incoming count. So I can report the count here. Here, for instance, I can put the count to spare the machine and doing too many countifs. So to do 5. In progress 1, settings 1, 8. Okay. All right. So let's have a look. I just need to do some charts. Okay. So to do some chart, you select all these. And you put an insert and you have a look at the chart and you find one that you like. But what I wanted to do was not this actually. So here you would have the 5 statuses. Now the completed and on hold, the thing is the way I see this board is something that you can keep for a long period of time. So the challenge with this is if you want to see, after a while you'll have too many completed and then your chart will look a bit strange. You will have 50,000 completed and just free to do. So that's not going to make the chart very useful for what is outstanding. So I thought instead just selecting the active, what I call the active one, like incoming for me is active, to do is active, and in progress is active. And then I press insert and I do a recommended chart. And then this is more manageable long term. So here, this is the first chart that we'll have. Now, if I want to do the active as a different type of chart, I select it and I just press, what do we want? I might just take the donut. Okay, I just take the donut here. So this is already 2 charts done. for donuts. If you want to add the labels instead, you just put this, then you click on the number, you format the data label, and you try to find something else here. Category name, here it is. So you can remove the value because we already have the value. Instead, you can put the percentage maybe. Actually, yeah, you can put the percentage maybe. Okay, so here I just put that here. So if you have this, you don't need that. Let's not worry too much about how it looks. You can do that in the final formatting. I just wanted to give you a nice how to do stuff. Now, if you want to do the same thing for the urgent, you just select those three and you select the urgent here. So you press the Control key and you select this, and then you do an insert. And then you do that again. You need to make sure that it's very obvious on the chart description that it's only for the urgent here. If you want to put the totals, you can as well. You put the add data label, and it comes on top because there's only one series. Here I could have put it as well, come on top. If I can do it, add data label. Okay, so that's 3 charts. Now, what is the last chart that we wanted here? Let me think. Maybe just the completed and on hold. I think that'll be nice to have this to know roughly. And this time we can put the numbers, completed and on hold. Okay, so Control key, completed, on hold. I'm not going to worry about urgent, not urgent. Insert, and I'm just going to go for the same one here. So a bit of a symmetry here. And here the same, add data labels, and this time I'm going to leave the number. Format data labels, I'm going to put the category name, and then you can just drag that down on the side. So that's it. So you have your top of the chart here. You just need to do some basic formatting if you want, but this is pretty much it. So you can just take them all. Let me just show you one way to do this. So if you press on one and you press Control A, that should take you all the shapes for this. So the only shapes we have is charts. So after you do a Control X, and then here you position yourself somewhere on top here, and you put a Control V. Now you have all the charts here. I don't know if you can, yes, you can. And then it's up to your design skills to do this properly. I like to have one per column. This way, there's a bit of symmetry here. Make sure that you leave some room for the count. Now, if you really want to do the chart, this board, as close as possible to mine, let me check what I had here as a color theme. Can't you remember? I used the paper color theme. So if you go under page layout, you go colors and you take the paper color theme, you will see the type of colors that I've been using here. So the colors I've been using for the incoming, for instance, I'm just going to put it here. For the incoming, I've been using the first one, this one here, with a white font. Okay, and just to make it a bit faster, I'm just going to do this on the to-do, and here I've been using the purple one, which is the one just next. For the in progress, I've been selecting another one of those. I think they go well together. They're open for debate as usual. Format painter for completed. I'm just put blue, and then the on hold. The on hold of shame, what do we put there? We put just some gray. I think you can put whatever you want. I think what's important is to be consistent. Like for instance, when you go back in here and you want to put some colors on those, I think the incoming one, you make sure you select only the incoming, and then actually if you go here, it should be all there. You know, you go under format, chart, and then you have you select one here. And what is good is Excel gives you the same style here. So for the next one, it's easier. You just go here, you click this, and then in progress, you know it's the green. And then you do the same here. In progress is the green, so I'm just going to leave it. To do is this one, and incoming is that one here. Okay, for the donuts, exactly the same. So I'm going to remove the chart title, and then I'm going to extend this a little bit. I think if I click on this, I can have a square within the square. So if you're not happy with the donut shape, you can increase the donut hole size here or decrease it in my view here. I think I prefer maybe a bit too much. Okay, and here you do the same thing. Be nice to have the same size roughly. Open for debate. What you can do is you do the shape fill and you put no fill in it, so to make sure that you see what's behind. Now the to do is, and here the beauty is you can keep using this. That is already all ready for you. In progress. So incoming. What color was it? So that was this, and in progress. The green. Now sometimes, depending on the type of chart, but here it doesn't do it. Sometimes for some types of charts, it just lets you align the text. No, so we have to do it manually here. All right, so sometimes what works is the format painter. I don't think it works always and often on chart, but you can try. You select the chart, use the format painter, put it on the other one, and bingo, not much happened, but at least you tried. And then you have to do this, all that here again. Make sure that you remember the whole size here, so you can put the same one here. Let's say, for instance, I have 67%, and then you can just repeat the process. On hold, it's but gray is not here. I don't think gray is here. Oh, that's not going to be pretty. No, I don't want to see that. So here, shape. I'm just going to put a gray here, and here for the other one, what was the other one completed? I'm going to put a blue. Then I'm going to put a blue, same blue here. So this is very rough for the time being. What I wanted to have as well is obviously. This one, the total that is on top. Here I can double click on Format Painter. No, actually I cannot because this is the color only for that one. Put it here. Now I'm going to Format Paint all this. Or actually what you could do is just select all those and Format Paint on all those here. I just slipped it, sorry. You select only this and then you just select that and I should put it. Okay, now you hide this. And here, if you really want to go for it, now first of all, I just like to remove the grid lines. Let me check how long we've been. 20 minutes. Oh yeah, but I had to stop in the middle, so it's a bit more than that. Now, what do you think? So here I think that we could do some formatting. So here you could do, I'm not going to do it all, I'm just going to show you on one. Conditional formatting based on the values. So you take a new rule and you format cells only format only cells that contain, and you put equal to. And here, instead of putting no incoming and all that, you need to go here in the settings and you put incoming here. So incoming, we need to remember that it was the first one. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Yes, it was this, but I want a lighter one. I'm gonna take that might be a bit too light. Let's try with this. Okay, so could be a little bit too pale, but no, that's something that you can have a look at. So if we go back under this. You need to make sure that it selects everything. Yes, selected everything. And what you can do once you've done one and you're happy with a color, you duplicate it and then you take the next one and you remember the next one is just under. So it's 0.6 and you remember that the next color for the to do is purple. So you just put a purple here. So those two light colors might be very, very close. So you press apply. and then you can duplicate again, and then you take the next one, you take a 7 here. The 7, what is the 7 here? It's the in progress. So you take the, so all this might be a bit too pale. Okay, so you can continue. I mean, I might as well complete the process, so I'm just going to do it. 8. I think, yes, 8 is the blue. And actually, it would have been better to do it for both. So here for C8, what do I want? Edit rule. I want something gray, gray. Gray, apply. Now, it didn't take the on hold. Does that mean that I need a 9 here? See, it's a bit too blur, so you probably need to do a bit of a stronger blue here. As long as we can still read, yes, that's it. Okay, so what would have been better would have been to, I mean, I want to do the same with this. So conditional formatting, you take a new rule here, but here you need a formula because you're not talking about the cell itself, you're talking about another cell. So what you want to do is you want to put the G15, which is a status. You want to make sure that the 15 is unlocked. So it will follow you. And then you want to make sure that the G is locked. And I'll explain why. So it's equal to, let's take the first one, for instance, the incoming. And I want to put, I'm going to put a very strong blue. I don't know why these demos are always say blue, and just say something about this. So J15 is equal to D5, and therefore I should put all this in the thing. So J15 is equal to settings D5, settings D5. So it is a mistake. I should have C5 here. C5. And that's it. So the reason why I said maybe going directly, if you know you want to have those two, now that I have locked, I've used the formula and I have locked the G, I can apply that to other columns. So if I also add, let's say, this column here, it should work as well. That's because I have locked the G. So in other words, I could have also using for the status here. This is what I was mentioning before. But I'm not going to do it all. I think once you know how to do one, it's just a matter of doing the work. So I'm sure you're for it. What do I have? I have everything here. I think you know how all this works. I just had a text here, a text box, not a text box, a text box here where you can put your, your objectives. You can put a date here. So if you want to merge those and put today, the Excel formula for today, which is today. And then, just you put one of the date format that you like and you format paint it on top. See, it doesn't like it because it's merge, VS and merge, but you merge back, you merge again.